The basic law passed by Congress shall also provide for the justice institutions in the Bangsamoro that reflect the plurality and diversity of the communities in the region. The civil courts will be maintained for all constituents of the Bangsamoro, while Sharia courts will be strengthened and its application shall only be to Muslims. With respect to the rights of indigenous peoples, their customary rights and traditions shall be taken into consideration in the formation of the Bangsamoro justice system.
Ang bahagi ng Power Sharing Annex ay yung tinatawag nating tatlong listahan. Dito sa listahan na to, meron tayong sinasabing reserved powers of the national government. Ibig sabihin, yung mga competencies or authority na mananatiling nasa kamay ng national government. At syempre, walang kasama na dyan yung foreign affairs, national defense, immigration, intellectual property rights, kalakan ng foreign trade, maliban na lamang sa ibang aspeto na pwede ng maging competence na ng Bangsamoro government. Ang national defense ay mananatiling competence ng central government. May iisa tayong Armed Forces of the Philippines. At ang Armed Forces of the Philippines na yan, ang Commander-in-Chief ay ang ating Presidente. Ang national defense ay mananatiling nasa kamay ng central government. Gayon din ang foreign affairs na may kinalaman sa pakikipag-ugnayan ng isang independent sovereign state sa iba pang independent sovereign states. At ang foreign affairs ay isang competency na nananatili sa kamay ng national government. Bukod sa reserve list, yung pangalawang listahan, yung sinasabi natin concurrent list. Ibig sabihin, yung mga competencies na isang bahagi ay authority ng national government, isang bahagi naman ay katungkulan o tungkulin ng Bangsamoro. Samantala, yung pangatlong listahan, ito yung sinatawag natin exclusive. So sa exclusive list na to, ito yung mga powers na i-devolve o magiging competencies ng Bangsamoro government.
Political autonomy can be more meaningful if accompanied by fiscal autonomy and financial self-sustainability. The Annex outlines which taxing and revenue-generating powers are being devolved by the national government to the Bangsamoro.
Since the signing of the Framework Agreement on the Bangsamoro in October 2012, there has been much progress both in the substance and in the languaging of the texts of the annexes that is yet to be finalized by the government and the MILF in the succeeding peace negotiations in 2013. Meanwhile, the Transition Commission should have been fully organized this 2013 and ready to build on the terms laid out by the panels in the annexes in drafting the basic law.
Siyempre, sinisikap pa natin ngayon tapusin yung iba't ibang mga usapin diyan. May ilang mga issues pang natitira dito sa usapin ng power sharing sa annex na hindi mahanapan ng solusyon. May mga solusyon.
Both parties agreed that normalization is vital to the peace process. The aim of normalization is to ensure human security in the Bangsamoro, meaning no fear of violence or crime, no violation of human rights, no social or political injustice, and impunity. As agreed in the Framework Agreement on the Bangsamoro, the MILF shall also undertake a program for decommissioning of its forces so that they are put beyond use.
It will not be instant, hindi yan biglaan, hindi kaagad mangyayari yan, magiging isang proseso yan. Sa bawat progress sa political front, at saka sa socio-economic front, may kasabay na hakbangin din naman ang MILF na along the lines of decommissioning. Well, ang una-una na siguro is let's give this a chance. No? Alam natin marami nang na-disappoint sa dating peace negotiations na hindi nakasolve ang problema, kaya ngayon may problema pa tayo. So ang tinatanong sa atin, iba ba yan? May mangyayari ba dyan? sagot naman natin dito, pwede itong maging iba, pwedeng may mangyari dito kung talagang seryosohin natin at saka sama-sama tayong magtulungan kung bigyan natin ito ng pagkakataon.
Dapat forward-looking ba ang Pilipinas, ang mga Pilipino na hindi na tayo babalik sa panahon ng giyera?
I think it's good for them to understand what is in the framework agreement, as well as actively participate in the consultations that will be conducted by the Transition Commission in their drafting of the basic law.
We extend the hands of friendship and partnership to the President and the Filipino people as we jointly embark on the historic journey to rebuild our homeland, institute justice and occupation and the reign of violence, and restore normalcy to the lives of the masses.
We shall hold up that bridge with the force of our dreams and ideals, enabling it to bring our entire society together and enrich the democratic institutions we all hold dear, until we all reach the firmament of hope and arrive together, finally in the bright realm of greatness as one people, under one republic, sharing one destiny.
I am confident that our faith in each other and in the Filipino people will not waver, and in fact will only grow even stronger in the years to come.
The government of the Philippines and the Moro Islamic Liberation Front achieved a historic milestone in the peace negotiations with a signed framework agreement on the Bangsamoro on October 15, 2012. This political document serves as the roadmap for the creation of the Bangsamoro entity that will replace the autonomous region in Muslim Mindanao.
Today we sign a framework agreement that can finally seal genuine, lasting peace in Mindanao, in full view of the Filipino people and witnessed even by our friends from different parts of the world. We commit to peace.
Yung framework agreement on the Bangsamoro, dito nilalatag nito lahat ng mga ang pinakalayunin. Ang pinakalayunin natin makamit, of course, ang unang-una na dyan ay yung magkaroon nga ng Bangsamoro, yung isang political entity that will replace the arm and will become the vehicle for yung ina-aspire na self-governance, self-realization nilalatag sa framework agreement. Sinasabi nito ano yung proseso, ano yung mga hakbangin, ano yung mga transitory elements that will be put in place until magkaroon ng regularly elected Bangsamoro government. At ang target nga nito ay sa 2016 mangyayari. Pero bukod dito, meron din siyang nilalatag na principles at nilalatag din niya yung ibang elemento. So yung framework agreement plus yung 4 na annexes, ito yung magbubuo ng isang comprehensive agreement at ang laman naman nito ang siyang gagabay dun sa isasagawang panukalang batas ng Transition Commission. Pero bukod dyan, yung framework agreement nagbabanggit din ng ibang bahagi na hindi nangangailangan ng legislative component tulad halimbawa ng normalization. Nilalatag niya din dito yung iba't iba pang aspeto na magiging kabahagi ng kabuang peaceful resolution of the armed conflict between the government at saka ng Moro Islamic Liberation.
The Bangsamoro shall be governed by a basic law. This basic law shall be drafted by an all-Bangsamoro Transition Commission which will be appointed by the President.
Ang Bangsamoro Basic Law ay ito yung law o yung organic act na siyang magdi-define nung legal framework ng autonomous government dito sa bahaging ito, yung Bangsamoro na tinatawag natin. Ang Transition Commission ay magsasagawa ng isang panukalang batas na imumungkahin niya o isusumitin niya sa ating Kongreso.
For this purpose, Executive Order 120 was signed by the President and issued on December 17, 2012 allowing for the creation of the Transition Commission.
Alam natin na nandun 15 o 15 people, 8 sa nire-recommend ng MRF. Ito yung recommend ng government.
The Senate and the Congress passed the respective resolutions which expressed support to the framework agreement on the Bangsamoro and its implementation, including the creation of the Transition Commission.
Inaasahan dahil nga magkakaroon tayo ng eleksyon para sa panibagong kongreso sa nauupo sa July 2013, ay magiging mahigpit ang ugnayan nitong Transition Commission. At kung maisagawa naman dito yung trabaho niya, yung kanyang pagsusulat ng isang panukalang batas, ay isusumitin niya ito sa Kongreso, ang hanap ng sponsor. Ang Kongreso naman magsasagawa ng sarili ng legislative process. Ibigay naman yung batas na yan sa Presidente na siya naman pipirma dito sa Bangsamoro Basic Law na to na siyang papalit sa Organic Act for Muslim.
Once passed by Congress, the Basic Law will go through popular ratification through a plebiscite that will be conducted in the envisioned territory of the Bangsamoro.
Pagkatapos niyan ay magkakaroon ng plebisito doon sa mga lugar na tinukoy doon sa Framework Agreement, at saka kung meron man ng People's Initiative or LGU's resolution before the plebiscite, then pwede yan makonsider din na maging kabahagi ng plebiscite. Pag nagkaroon na yung plebiscite, then effectively, na-ratify na yung batas and it will take effect doon sa mga areas na vote in favor of inclusion in the Bangsamoro.
Once the Basic Law is ratified in the plebiscite, the autonomous region in Muslim Mindanao will be deemed abolished and the Bangsamoro Transition Authority will be created. To serve for an interim period during transition from the autonomous region in Muslim Mindanao to Bangsamoro, the Bangsamoro Transition Authority shall ensure that the continued functioning of government in the area of autonomy is exercised pursuant to its mandate under the Basic Law. The Bangsamoro Transition Authority shall continue to exist until officials of the Bangsamoro government are elected in the regular elections in May 2016.
Papasok ka na ngayon doon sa Bangsamoro Transition Authority. So, ang nakikita natin dyan, yung Bangsamoro Basic Law will have maybe what we can call some transitory provisions. At dito sa transitory provisions na to, nagpro-provide siya ng transition. Kung saan meron kang transitional authority na maghahanda para sa pagtatayo ng regular Bangsamoro government by 2016.
What will the Bangsamoro look like?
Nung chinek natin ang ating Constitution, ang sinasabi sa ating Constitution dito sa Article 10, maraming mga provisions dito sa Article 10 ng 1987 Constitution, ang sinasabi dito, executive and legislature shall be elected in the autonomous region. Itong executive and legislature. Ang ministerial system naman ay elected, set up yan, no? Ine-elect mo yung political parties, yung mga nanalo sa assembly, ine-elect nila yung kanilang chief executive officer, yung CEO nila o yung chief minister. Ibig sabihin, hindi nga lang direct elected in the same way that we directly elect the other provincial governors or even our president. Sa asymmetric relationship, ang sinasabi lang natin dito, kakaiba talaga yung autonomous region na in-envision sa ating Constitution doon sa mga local governments. Sa isang autonomous region ay meron ka talagang full government na nag-e-exercise ng kanyang devolved powers within the context of a national government but enjoying much more autonomy compared to other segments of the country. Kaya nga asymmetric kasi iba siya, kakaiba siya doon sa ibang local governments.
The basic rights of all peoples in the Bangsamoro are protected. The rights of the indigenous peoples will be respected.
Klaro yun, na lahat ng nakatira doon, whether you choose to ascribe or not to ascribe yourself as Bangsamoro, meron kang, yung rights are respected. No question about it. If you are in the Bangsamoro, you are a Filipino citizen.
Vested property rights shall be recognized.
As well as on the annexes in it is very well stated that all vested property rights shall be respected.
At the same time, the central government should also ensure that the rights of the Bangsamoro people who are outside the territory will also be protected.
Okay, so Bangsamoro refers to two things. The first one is Bangsamoro as a people, as an identity. It means, it refers to the people living in the Sulu and Mindanao archipelago at the time of colonization or conquest, and it may uh, even be um, ascribed to or magse-self-ascribe yung mga tao ng mga people in Palawan. So first is it refers to the people or as an identity. The second is it refers to the political entity that is sought to be established to replace the ARMM. The second question is, what is the importance of the Bangsamoro? Is that it? Okay. So, I could cite three for para very brief lang. The first is it it is important because it will end the long-standing struggle in Mindanao. It will bring forth peace, not only in Mindanao but also to the Philippines. Number two is it will foster unity and harmony, bringing in the Bangsamoro people within the context of the Philippines and as part of the Philippine territory. And third, it will bring in economic development and progress, not only sa Bangsamoro area or Mindanao but also to the Philippines as a whole.
Bangsamoro may be the solution in terms of peace and order. At the same time, in terms of autonomy with regards to the long claymore of Bangsamoro people here in Mindanao.
Sa akin, okay lang kung sa tama. Yung gawin nila, yung magawin ng batas ba, kung anong gusto nilang batas, wag lang mag-ano yung iba, di ba, nag-ano ng, yung palagi na tag-advantage sila, iba magsama sila. Yung opinion ko, yun na.
The main differences I could cite for now, the first one is that the Bangsamoro will have a ministerial form of government, whereas the ARMM currently is just acts as an administrative region na merong governor, vice governor, and assemblyman. The second is the Bangsamoro has more um, powers or wider discretion in revenue generation or wealth sharing, whereas ang ARMM right now enjoys, while it enjoys physical autonomy, supposedly it cannot exercise that because it is still within the powers of the national government. Ang pangatlo naman na masasite ko na difference is uh, magkakaroon tayo ng normalization process at saka transitional justice sa Bangsamoro. Sa ARMM, wala. Okay.
As to the function, ARMM is treated as a mere LGU in terms of governance. In other words, it is like a city government of Makati performing its functions and powers as an LGU. Unlike Bangsamoro, if it will be realized, Bangsamoro will have its parliamentary form of government, which has practically more powers and functions in terms of governance.
I could only talk about advantages, no disadvantages. Because I strongly support again. So, ang advantages nito na enumerate ko na kanina, it will end the struggle, bring unity, progress, economic development, at saka magkakaroon na ng recognition ng Bangsamoro identity, right to self-determination and self-governance. That's it.
I cannot cite disadvantages kasi hindi pa nangyayari. But advantages may be uh, people here in Mindanao uh, has or have that government to help them realizing the long dream of autonomy or self-determination. And in terms of uh, uh, taxation and then wealth sharing, people from Mindanao will definitely get more share or have equal share uh, to that of people from other or people from the people from Manila or Luzon.